Namaste दोस्तों, I'm Dr. Vivek. Today I'm going to discuss about a very important theory, the literary theory. The name of the theory is postcolonial literature. What is this postcolonial literature all about, and how this theory evolved? What are the important writers of this theory? Uh, some of the areas I'm going to cover in this video. Postcolonial literature emerged as a distinguished category in 1990s. Though it was way back, it started and the roots were there, but as a writings, it started formally. It is regarded as it was started in 1990s. It gained currency through the influence of such books. The Some of the important books here you keep in the mind while reading this post-colonial literature. I selected 4 5 books, though there are a number of books there, but which the books which I find most important that I included. Those I included. First one is In Other Worlds, 1987 by Gayatri Spivak. The Empire Writes Back, 1989 by Bill Ashcroft, Helen Tiffin, and Gareth Griffiths. So these three writers have written this very important book, that is Empire Writes Back. Nation and Narration, 1990 by Homi K. Bhava. Culture and Imperialism, 1993 by Edward Said. Orientalism, 1978 by Edward Said again. So you should remember the year also, the name of the books, writer's name, and you need to remember for net exam purpose. Postcolonial ideology rejects the universalism in literature on the basis of culture, social, regional, and national basis. It is regarded that there should be a universally standard of literature. And who made this standard? These these colonizers. Uh, so they are against these writers who are writing the post-colonial literature. They are against this universalism in literature. They say that their own identity, their regional, their nation is also important. It should be keep in mind while you are setting the standards. So they are against this universalism in literature. Frantz Fanon, in the book Wretched of the Earth, published in French 1961, and the year is important, very important book, argues for the finding a voice and reclaim their own past. He says that in this book that these are writers are writing to reclaim their past. They have a past. They had a good past, and they are reclaiming that past, that this was their past, through these writings, through this literature. Edward Said Orientalism exposes the Eurocentric universalism that takes the superiority of what is Eurocentric and Western and inferiority of what is not. So Edward Said says that Westerners says that whatever they are doing, they are best, they are good, these are the standards, and whatever these Eastern countries are doing, colonized countries are doing, they are inferior. They are not the standard. So this is there. So he exposes that in the book called Orientalism. The East is seen as fascinating realm of exotic, the mystic, seductive. The West believes that the actions of Eastern people are determined by the instinctive motions rather than by the conscious choices and decisions. He says that they are just these Westerner people, colonizers. They say that imperialist countries people, they say is that whatever these eastern people are doing, they are not a conscious choices, they are based on the instinctive motions. So they criticize these people, these writings. Double identity of post-colonial writers, colonized and colonizers. They were this is the center and the periphery. Earlier, these colonized countries are at the center. They are following their tradition, their language, their culture. But as these colonizer came to these colonized countries, they became the center, right? And whatever they are doing, those are the standards, and they are becoming at the center. Now the colonized people are have come to the periphery. Now again they want to come to the center because it's their culture, their life, their language. So all are dominated by these colonizers. So they are fighting against it. This is a fight between colonizer and colonized. There are three phases. Their phases are three important phases in post-colonial literature. First one is adopt phase, ADOPT. Writers of this phase writes with unquestioning acceptance of the authority of the European models. Colonizers' writing had a universal validity. So they are accepting these colonized people, these colonized writers, the countries they belong to, they are just accepting the rules, the standard, the authority is there. The models are European models were there, so they accept it as it was, though they were writing, but they are according to them, for their sake they were writing. So that was the adopt phase. Second phase was adapt, ADAPT. Adapt it, it aims to adapt the European form of colonial subject matter, thus assuming partial rights of intervention in their genre. So in the second phase, they are adjusting to the subject matter of the colonizers, and there is intervention in their genre. They are just accommodating with the colonizers in their writings. Now the third phase comes, that is called adapt, ADEPT. The phase consists of declaration of independence from the colonizers. Here, the colonized innovate form as per their needs without any reference to the European norms. Now they have opposed the colonizers' forms. They adopted their own style of writing, their own form they evolved, and they are writing independently. There is no influence of the colonizers on colonized people, the writers who are writing. So that is the real phase. This is a real writings of these people from these nations. So these are the three important phases in the life, the journey of post-colonial literature. It's a very important. We can associate this because we have been the colonized country as India, colonized of Britishers. So there are many countries like India. The tricontinent is there, Asia is there, Africa and Latin America. So these the writers, the people who belong to these countries, they were writing their traumas, they their experiences, uh, and this there was a domination on their tradition, their culture, their language, uh, they and the economy, political ideas, they were not their own. So they are protesting for their own identity, their own culture, life, tradition, language. So I think they were right, and they were struggling for that. So this is all about postcolonial literature, and this is my favorite, one of the favorite theories, uh, literary theories, which I like the most. So you will find it very interesting when you try to understand this theory and try to understand, read the works which are related to these theories. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.